Every year, an alarming number of seniors, more than 50,000 according to recent studies, are experiencing sudden cardiac episodes that leave medical professionals baffled. These incidents often happen without warning, with no clear indication of the escalation beforehand. What if the cause is something as simple and overlooked as what they had for breakfast? Many elderly individuals start their mornings with a slice of white bread, believing it to be a harmless, quick source of energy. It looks innocuous with its soft, fluffy texture and familiar taste, but beneath its plain surface lies a danger that silently damages the body over time. White bread is loaded with refined carbohydrates and preservatives like potassium, bromate, and azodicarbonamide, which are not only additives but also triggers for blood sugar fluctuations. The tiny spikes in blood sugar levels caused by eating white bread can seem harmless initially, but they accumulate. These repeated subtle rises occurring every morning cause minor but persistent stress on the fragile blood vessels, especially in senior bodies where vascular health is already compromised. Within just a few weeks, these small blood sugar fluctuations start to harm the delicate lining of blood vessels, making them more inflamed and less flexible. Over months of consistently consuming white bread, this damage worsens quietly but steadily. The tiny, nearly invisible blood vessels in the heart and throughout the circulatory system become increasingly vulnerable as inflammation begins to take hold. These tiny arteries, critical for nourishing the heart muscle, start to deteriorate, but the warning signs are often dismissed or go unnoticed. Some seniors may experience mild fatigue or occasional dizziness, but most are unaware that the damage is progressing at a dangerous pace. As these minor inflammation signs persist week after week, they set the stage for more severe problems. The hardening of arteries and formation of small plaques begin to take shape beneath the surface, creating a hidden danger. Without experiencing obvious symptoms, many believe their health is stable, unaware that the tiny arterial tears and inflammation are inching toward a catastrophic event. The threat escalates silently, like a ticking time bomb within their bodies, until an unexpected massive heart attack occurs. What seemed like a harmless breakfast choice now reveals itself as a catalyst for dangerous vascular injuries, pushing the body's defenses toward failure. The ongoing damage means that even minor physical stresses or emotional shocks can trigger a sudden, deadly clot or rupture in a compromised artery. That initial insidious process, starting from a simple breakfast habit, has morphed into a silent but deadly assault on the entire cardiovascular system, leaving seniors at risk of sudden, irreversible cardiac catastrophe. Many wonder how something so ordinary could turn lethal, but the evidence has been accumulating in medical research. The small blood sugar spikes caused by white bread consumption initiate a chain reaction that weakens the vascular walls, inflames the arteries, and accelerates soft plaque buildup. These changes progress over time, often unnoticed, until a sudden, devastating event shatters the illusion of good health. It is only when these hidden damages have become extensive that some seniors face a critical, life-threatening emergency they could have avoided. The key to preventing this deadly escalation lies in understanding the harmful effects of refined carbohydrates and taking simple, effective steps. Replacing white bread with whole grain options rich in fiber and healthy fats dramatically reduces blood sugar fluctuations. For instance, swapping out a single slice of white bread for a slice of hearty whole grain bread, about 1 ounce, spread with half an avocado and sprinkled with 1 teaspoon of ground flaxseed, can stabilize blood sugar levels and strengthen vascular health. These small changes disrupt the destructive chain reaction initiated by refined carbs, halting the progression of inflammation and plaque formation. What is essential is recognizing that everyday choices, such as selecting the type of bread for breakfast, have profound implications for long-term heart health. By making this simple switch, seniors can protect their blood vessels from the initial damage that sets the stage for catastrophic events. Not only does whole grain bread topped with nourishing ingredients provide sustained energy, but it also fortifies blood vessel walls, reducing inflammation and preventing the buildup of dangerous plaques. The importance of this diet change cannot be overstated because it tackles the root cause before irreversible damage occurs. Understanding the science behind this process opens the door to effective prevention strategies that can literally save lives. It is crucial to see these dietary habits not just as routine but as pivotal moments that determine one's future health. Addressing this small but impactful change offers seniors a practical, accessible way to guard against what could otherwise become a fatal cardiovascular crisis lurking in their everyday routine. As the insidious process of arterial inflammation advances silently within the elderly body, it begins to change the very structure of the blood vessels themselves. The delicate, flexible arteries start to stiffen, losing their natural elasticity due to persistent inflammation and calcium deposits. This stiffening narrows the arterial lumen, making it increasingly difficult for blood to flow smoothly. Over several months of continual damage, the arteries become quite rigid, a condition medically known as atherosclerosis. This process is dangerous because it elevates blood pressure gradually, pushing the entire cardiovascular system toward a critical point. The narrowing blood vessels place extraordinary strain on the heart, forcing it to work harder to pump blood through the constricted pathways. The relentless buildup of plaque, which is composed of cholesterol, calcium, and cellular waste, adds to the turbulence within the arteries, creating the perfect environment for a deadly event. The risk of stroke or heart attack becomes imminent as blood flow is restricted, and the internal pressure inside these compromised vessels rises. Every heartbeat becomes a gamble, as a sudden rupture or complete blockage can occur at any moment, often without warning. This escalating danger reaches its climax when a weakened spot within a heavily plaque-laden artery suddenly tears, creating a catastrophic rupture known as an aneurysm. An aneurysm is a dangerous dilation of a blood vessel that can burst suddenly, releasing a rush of blood into surrounding tissues. In the brain, this can lead to a massive hemorrhagic stroke, causing rapid neurological decline and often death before emergency medical help arrives. In the chest or abdomen, a ruptured aneurysm causes internal bleeding that can lead to shock and death within minutes. Many seniors remain unaware of these silent threats brewing inside their bodies until disaster strikes. It is precisely this stage, where arterial walls become fragile and prone to rupture, that makes the danger so terrifying and unpredictable. What often appears as a routine health decline can suddenly turn deadly when an arterial rupture occurs. It is this hidden process of vessel deterioration that doctors have come to fear most, because once it reaches the point of no return, there is little that can be done in time to prevent a fatal outcome. The key to understanding this dangerous escalation lies in recognizing that the thickened, hardened arteries can hide critical signs of impending disaster for years. Regularly monitoring blood pressure at home with a reliable device, keeping it below 120/80 millimeters of mercury by ensuring daily activity including brisk walks for 20 minutes and avoiding processed foods high in sodium can help slow or halt this progression. Applying heat to the neck with a warm compress of about 110 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes each morning can promote circulation and reduce internal vascular stress. Avoiding sudden physical exertion when experiencing minor dizziness and maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, sleeping 8 hours each night with a cool room temperature around 68 degrees Fahrenheit, further contribute to vascular health. But the most vital step is addressing early warning signs, mild fatigue, slight dizziness, or episodes of blurred vision, by consulting a healthcare professional immediately and making dietary changes, like increasing intake of omega-3 fatty acids from 1 ounce of walnuts or 2 teaspoons of fish oil daily, to bolster arterial resilience. Understanding that these gradual yet relentless changes within the blood vessels can suddenly culminate in a deadly rupture underscores the importance of proactive measures. Recognizing the danger early and taking precise steps to fortify the arteries might just be the difference between a manageable health issue and a catastrophic event that claims lives without warning. As the silent progression of arterial damage advances, the warning signs become more alarming and unmistakable. Doctors frequently observe patients presenting with signs of advanced arterial hardening and calcification, a condition where the arteries lose their flexibility and become rigid as stone. Imaging scans reveal arteries packed with calcium deposits that shimmer visibly under X-ray or ultrasound, indicating that the vessel walls are now lined with a hardened, brittle layer. These deposits are often accompanied by significant narrowing of the arterial lumen, reducing blood flow to vital organs. At this stage, even aggressive medication regimens and high doses of statins often fail to make a meaningful difference in preventing a catastrophic event because the physical barrier of calcification is now so extensive that it cannot be softened or reversed. Patients might still feel relatively normal, but beneath the surface, their arteries are on the brink of disaster. Routine blood pressure readings show dangerously elevated numbers, sometimes exceeding 140/90 millimeters of mercury, a clear sign of the internal stress building within these hardened vessels. Many avoid the warning signs because they do not yet experience severe symptoms, leaving them unaware that their bodies are approaching a tipping point. The danger becomes even more terrifying when the arteries are so rigid that any stress, no matter how minor, can trigger an irreversible event. A simple fall in the home, a sudden emotional shock like bad news or an argument, or even a minor physical exertion such as bending or lifting can push already fragile arteries past their breaking point. The vessel wall tears or the plaque's surface ruptures, releasing a sudden, massive clot into the bloodstream. This can result in a fatal heart attack when blood flow to the heart muscle is completely blocked, or a catastrophic stroke if the rupture occurs within the brain's vessels. The unpredictable nature of this final stage makes it acutely dangerous because there are often no precursor symptoms, just an abrupt collapse that claims lives in seconds without warning. The internal damage at this stage is so extensive that even the strongest medications cannot ease the immediate threat. It is as if the arteries are time bombs primed to explode at the slightest disturbance. For many seniors who have silently accumulated years of plaque and calcium deposits, their vessels resemble brittle, inflexible tubing that cannot withstand even the smallest increase in internal pressure. Any sudden surge in blood pressure caused by emotional distress or physical activity can rupture these compromised arteries, unleashing internal bleeding or complete vessel collapse. This is why prevention becomes vital long before it reaches this dangerous point. Regularly monitoring blood pressure at home, keeping it below 120/80 millimeters of mercury by engaging in daily brisk walks of at least 20 minutes at a speed of 3 to 4 miles per hour, and avoiding processed foods rich in sodium, limiting daily intake to less than 2 grams, can slow this progression significantly. Applying a warm compress to the neck at a temperature of about 110 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes each morning promotes better circulation, helping to keep blood vessels supple. Ensuring a consistent, restful sleep schedule of at least 8 hours per night in a cool room around 68 degrees Fahrenheit further supports vascular health. But perhaps the most crucial change involves dietary modifications. Incorporate at least 1 ounce of walnuts or 2 teaspoons of fish oil into the daily diet to supply omega-3 fatty acids, which help maintain arterial elasticity and reduce inflammation. Small, measurable steps, like replacing processed white bread with 2 slices of whole grain bread, each about 1 ounce, topped with half an avocado and a teaspoon of ground flaxseed, can dramatically reduce the buildup of calcium and plaque. These simple, specific measures interrupt the silent cascade, preventing arteries from becoming so rigid that they become ticking time bombs. Recognizing these warning signs and taking proactive, measurable steps to protect blood vessel health can mean the difference between a manageable condition and a sudden, devastating catastrophe.